There is a line in your bathroom right now that is quietly deciding whether you are going to spend $8 this weekend or $5,000 6 months from now. It is not a pipe, it is not a fixture, it is a thin bead of silicone sitting between your bathtub and the wall. And if it is cracked, peeling, discolored, or pulling away even slightly, water is already getting behind your wall every single time someone takes a shower. Most people do not think about caulk. It is not exciting. Nobody walks into a bathroom and says, "Wow, look at that beautiful caulk line." But that little strip of silicone is the only thing standing between the water in your shower and the wood, drywall, and framing behind your tile. When it fails, and it always eventually fails, water does what water does. It finds every gap, every crack, every opening, and it moves into the places you cannot see. Here is what happens behind the wall when caulk fails. Water seeps through the gap between the tub and the tile. It hits the drywall behind the tile. Drywall absorbs moisture like a sponge. Within days, the paper facing on the drywall starts to soften. Within weeks, mold begins to grow. Not the kind you can see on the surface and spray with bleach. The kind that grows inside the wall cavity, between the drywall and the studs, in a dark, warm, wet space that never dries out because you keep showering every single day. And here's the number that should wake you up. The average water damage repair in a bathroom costs between $1,300 and $6,400. If mold gets involved, and it almost always does when the leak has been going on for months, mold remediation behind shower walls runs $500 to $2,000 for surface level issues. But once they have to rip out tile, drywall, and framing, the cost jumps to $5,000, $8,000, sometimes more. And most homeowner insurance policies do not cover damage caused by neglected maintenance. That means if the adjuster looks at the caulk line and sees it was cracked for months, you are paying out of pocket for everything, all because of a line of silicone that costs $8 to replace. So how do you know if yours is failing? Go look at it right now, seriously. Walk into the bathroom and look at the seam where the bathtub or shower pan meets the wall tile. Then check the corners where the walls meet each other inside the shower. Then check around the base of the faucet and handles. You are looking for 5 things. First, visible cracks. Even hairline cracks are enough for water to get through. Second, peeling or lifting edges where the caulk is pulling away from the tile or tub surface. Third, discoloration, especially dark spots that look like mold growing underneath the caulk itself. Not on top of it, but beneath the surface. Fourth, gaps where the caulk has shrunk or separated completely, leaving an open seam. And fifth, softness. Press the caulk with your fingernail. If it feels mushy or crumbles, it is done. If you see any of those 5 signs, do not wait. Do not put it on the list of things to get to someday. Every shower you take between now and when you fix it is pushing more water into a space that was never meant to get wet. Here is the other thing most people do not realize. Even if the caulk looks fine from a distance, it might still be failing. Caulk is not permanent. Standard silicone bathroom caulk lasts about 5 years under normal use. Some last a little longer, some a little less, depending on how often the shower gets used, how well ventilated the bathroom is, and how much heat and moisture it takes on daily. If you cannot remember the last time yours was replaced, it is probably time. Now here is the part that should actually make you feel good, because fixing this is one of the cheapest, fastest, most satisfying home repairs that exists. Here is exactly what you need. A caulk removal tool, about $4 to $6 at any hardware store. A tube of 100% silicone bathroom caulk, not acrylic, not latex, silicone. That runs about $6 to $8. A caulk gun, if you do not already have one, about $10. A roll of blue painter's tape, about $5. A spray bottle with rubbing alcohol or a solution of half water, half vinegar. And some paper towels. Total cost for everything, even if you own none of it, about $30 to $35. If you already have a caulk gun and tape, you are looking at maybe $12. Here is the process step by step. First, remove all the old caulk. Use the caulk removal tool to scrape and pull out every piece of the existing caulk line. Get it all out. Do not leave chunks behind. If there is mold on the surface underneath, spray it with the rubbing alcohol or vinegar solution and let it dry completely. The surface needs to be clean and dry before new caulk will stick. Second, apply painter's tape. Run 2 lines of tape along the seam, one on the tub or shower pan, and one on the tile wall, leaving a gap of about 1/4 inch between them. This is the trick that makes the finished line look clean and professional instead of messy. Professionals use this exact method. It takes 5 minutes and makes the final result look like somebody who does this for a living did it. Third, cut the tip of the caulk tube at a 45-degree angle. Start with a small opening. You can always cut more if you need a wider bead, but you cannot undo a cut that is too big. Load the tube into the caulk gun. Fourth, apply the caulk in one smooth, continuous line. Keep the gun moving at a steady pace. Do not stop and start. Go from one end of the seam to the other in a single pass. If you mess up, pull the caulk out and redo that section. It is silicone. It does not set instantly. You have time. Fifth, smooth the line. Wet your finger with the rubbing alcohol solution and run it along the bead in one smooth motion. This presses the caulk into the seam and creates a clean concave finish. Some people use a popsicle stick or a caulk finishing tool, but a wet finger works perfectly. Sixth, pull the tape. Do this while the caulk is still wet. Peel the tape away slowly at an angle and you will have a razor-sharp clean line that looks professional. If you wait until the caulk dries to remove the tape, it will tear and leave a jagged edge. Let it cure for 24 hours before using the shower. Silicone needs a full day to fully set. If you shower on it too soon, water can get underneath before it has sealed properly and you will be doing the whole thing again in a month. The entire job takes about 1 to 2 hours for an average bathtub. Most of that time is removing the old caulk. The actual application takes maybe 15 minutes. Now let me put this in perspective. You just spent $12 to $35 and a couple hours on a Saturday. That single afternoon potentially saved you somewhere between $1,300 and $6,400 in water damage repair. And if mold had gotten into the wall framing, you could be looking at $5,000 to $10,000 or more. Insurance would likely deny the claim because it was a maintenance issue. The contractor would have to rip out tile, cut out drywall, treat the framing, replace everything, retile, repaint. Weeks of work, thousands of dollars. All because a thin line of silicone cracked 6 months ago and nobody looked at it. One more thing, this is not a one-time fix. Put it on your calendar. Once a year, get in the shower with the water off, look at the caulk, and check for those 5 signs. Cracks, peeling, discoloration, gaps, softness. Catch it early and you never have to deal with the nightmare behind the wall. Your builder did not tell you this. Your home inspector mentioned it for about 3 seconds during a 2-hour walkthrough, and the internet is full of people who did not check until they smelled something behind the bathroom wall, and by then it was already a $5,000 problem. Now you know. And now there is no excuse not to walk into that bathroom tonight and take a look. If you check your caulk and find something concerning, drop a photo or a comment below. And if you have already dealt with a bathroom leak caused by failed caulk, share what it cost. That number alone is going to convince somebody watching this to finally pick up a tube of silicone this weekend. Subscribe for more home tips that save real money. There is a lot more coming.